So till the time we are living as a community, supporting each other, connecting with each other, having maitri, which is friendship with each other, we are sharing our joys and sorrows with each other. Nobody would get addicted to anything. Till the time we have this system of support and trust with each other, we are together, will not fall victim to any addiction. It's only when you feel and when you become individual, when you become lonely, when you become separated from the rest, and when you lose connection with your natural way of living, and when you lose connection with the nature, you tend to become addicted to something.
Pranam Gurudev. Rumita ji is asking you that Gurudev, how can I help my patients get rid of their drug and alcohol addictions?
Interesting question. First question of the day. Let's expand this question a little bit. Though, Rumita, you asked about specifically the drug and alcohol addiction, but let's expand this question and add all kinds of addiction into it. Yes, we're all addicted to different things in life. There's hardly any person you can find who's got no addiction. The depth of addiction and the object of addiction keeps changing, but everybody seems to be addicted to something, especially in this yoga. What is the issue? And how do we get rid of all our addictions? Because not just for the patients, but for every human being, till the time we are addicted, we are bound. What is the problem with addiction? Addiction binds us. We become slave of that object, of that anubhava, of which we are addicted to. Somebody is addicted to watching, non-stop series on the TV. Somebody is to certain kind of food, somebody is to drugs, somebody is to, certain other kind of experiences, or somebody is addicted to certain objects. So whatever is the object of our addiction, it makes us slave of that. We lose our freedom. We lose our capacity to choose. We lose our willpower. And hence, we start to become weaker. Every addiction breaks our bone. We become weak. Even if it is not of drug or alcohol, we feel, oh, I can leave this addiction of, let's say, getting up late, or let's say sleeping more, or let's say eating certain kind of food or watching certain kind of TV for certain number of hours. We feel that we can just leave it whenever we want, but that usually does not happen because every addiction breaks our willpower. Please remember that. Now, what's the way out? Let's first understand why we get addicted. The why of this is very important. So many years ago, in a university in America, I think it's Stanford or some other university, they ran a interesting experiment. So what they did, they ran this experiment on mice. So, so they created an artificial environment. Please listen to every element of this experiment carefully. Yeah? They first created an artificial environment, and then they segregated mice and they put them into this artificial environment, individual mice. And in that environment, there were things to do for the mice, but they were not interacting with other mice. And there they kept a bowl of plain water and a bowl of water which was having some kind of drug in it. So as mice were, doing their thing, some would go to the normal water to have their, water, and some mice will go to this other water which is drugged, which is which has some drug into it. And when these mice tasted that water, they liked it. And soon, in that entire experiment of the controlled environment, artificial environment which they had created, all the mouse They started drinking the water which has additives in it, which had drug in it. And within a few days, they all become addicts. Now, if in the experiment they would remove that water which has drug in it, all the mice will go, berserk, because now they are addicted to that water. And every day, the doctors, the researchers had to increase the quantity of drug in that water so that mice are, just kind of stable and doing their thing. But all the mice of that experiment, they all got addicted. And they concluded from this experiment that, like human beings, mice, and like mice, every human being, if given a choice, wants to get addicted. That's what the analysis was, that if given a choice, every human being wants to get addicted. After certain years, and this became a psychology, but after certain years, somebody questioned the research. They said, no, there's some fundamental problem in the research. So what this next, so they set up a new research now. This is the research on addiction, mind you. They set up a new research now where they did not create an artificial environment, or rather, they created an artificial environment which is as natural as possible. They did not create walls between sections of mice. All the mice in that environment were just playing with each other, they were interacting with each other as if it was a natural habitation. And then in that, again, they did the same thing. So first they created natural habitation for this experiment. And then they allowed all the mice to, live as part of nature, as their normal life is. And then they kept these two bowls of water again. Now look at what happened. The mice would come by accident. Somebody would come and, drink water from the normal bowl. Somebody would come, some mice will come and drink water from the drugged bowl. But interestingly, what they found, a mouse who came and took water, tasted water from the drugged bowl, did not return back. They did not like this water or the impact of that drug on their system. They did not like it. And soon they understood, the mice community understood that this particular bowl of water is not right for us. And within a few days, they stopped going to that water and they all started going to the water which is pure. Now the research got completed. And do you follow the difference in both the research and why addiction happens? That's a subtle research. The difference was people, number one, people who are not connected to their natural way of living. For them, it is easy to fall a victim to the addiction. People who are disconnected from nature, panchatatvas, are more tuned to getting addicted. People who don't have community support, who are not living in community. So in the first experiment, they did not create the community of mice. They created sections between them. Every mouse became an individual, so to say. In the second, they were living as a community. So till the time we are living as a community, supporting each other, connecting with each other, having maitri, which is friendship with each other, we are sharing our joys and sorrows with each other. Nobody would get addicted to anything. Till the time we have this system of support and trust with each other, we are together, will not fall victim to any addiction. It's only when you feel and when you become individual, when you become lonely, when you become separated from the rest, and when you lose connection with your natural way of living, and when you lose connection with the nature, you tend to become addicted to something. This is why we get addicted. So you asked, how do I help my patient to get rid from the addiction? This is the formula. Doctors around the world are trying to give, medicine to these people and all kinds of things. It's not working. It's not working and it will not work. Look at this experiment. Human beings need support of the community. We are communal people. We're not wired to live in loneliness, either physically or psychologically. We're not wired like that. We want the support, trust, maitri of people. We want to communicate with people. We want to be with people, people who understand us, people in whom we can trust. We all are seeking this beautiful word called maitri, which is sacred friendship. We're all seeking sacred friendship. We all are seeking, we are wired to live in with the rhythm of nature. You break the rhythm of nature, which is in today's term called circadian rhythm, the rhythm with the sun and moon. You break that rhythm, and high chances you'll fall for some addiction because you've broken your rhythm with the rhythm of nature. We are in tune, our heartbeat is in tune with the heartbeat of the earth. Everything is happening within us in a certain rhythm. We break the rhythm. You start to sleep at 2 a.m., start to get up at 11 a.m. in the morning. Your rhythm is off. And when the rhythm is off, there's certain weakness of will. And that's when we fall victim to one of the addictions. And then our connection with Panchabhutas, five elements, earth, water, fire, air, space. You don't connect with them. You don't appreciate nature. You don't live with nature. Something gets missed in your life and you fall a victim to the addiction. So, if you want to get out of any addiction or you want to help people get out of any addiction, these are the ways. A, connect them to nature. Let them experience the five tattvas, the profundity of every element of nature. Two, let them sync their rhythm with the rhythm of nature. Let their inner rhythm map with the circadian rhythm of life. Let them live and be part of a strong, supportive community. Have as many friends as possible. People who are walking the right path, who are holding your hand. Help them create that support system. Don't let them live in silos, in aloneness and loneliness. So if we are able to create a world like this, we will not fall for addiction. We will not have to blame the alcohol advertisements or the shops or any policy. Because these mice in the experiment, they had the sedative drink in front of us. They tasted it, they refused to take it because they were very happy, joyful, playing with their friends. We're not doing that. How often you go out, play with your friends, whatever your age is? Do you really go and play with your friends? Go for walk hikes with your friends? No, we don't do that. We don't have time or we don't have friends. And then we become victim to the addiction. This is the formula which will work. This is the formula which has always been working. That's what we need to create to help people A, get rid out of their addictions, B, to make sure we don't fall for any addiction. It's just not the drug or alcohol, it's every kind of addiction. Then you'll not be addicted because you're in tune with nature. In nature, nothing is addicted to anything else. Just look at it very carefully. So these are the three fundamentals. And remember, with community, I said deep friendships and playfulness. Go play with your friends, no matter what your age is. Don't take life too seriously. Just go play with your friends. Be happy because we are seeking the same happiness from this drug, the happiness which we get with our friends, with our family, with the warmth of the community. When you don't get this warmth of the community, of the family, of the friends, this joy, this playfulness that you get with your peers, with your folks, when you don't get that, you seek that in some addiction. It's a lack that happens in your heart and you want to fill that lack. And then you, with certain substance, you try to fill that gap. So why do we have that gap in the first place? Organize your life in such a way that there's no lack, there's no void in you. Yeah. There's always warmth, support, love that you receive, that you give, that you share. That's the essence of who we are. Yeah. Then addictions are off. All addictions are off. Apply this formula with even your patients and see the profundity of it. Yes. I hope this helps because we all need to get rid of all our addictions. Only then we will experience the joy of life, the purity of life, and only then we'll be able to walk the path of sadhana, the truth, the love that we talk about. Hope it helps. Thank you.